In a small, quiet town nestled between rolling hills and a winding river, life moved at a slow pace. The people here knew each other by name, shared stories over fences, and gathered at the local diner for coffee and pie. It was the kind of place where everyone felt like family, but also where big surprises rarely happened. That was until one ordinary Tuesday morning when something extraordinary unfolded. The town had been struggling for years. The once thriving factory that employed most of the residents had shut down a decade ago, leaving many without jobs. Families were barely getting by, and the local school was in desperate need of repairs. The library, a beloved community hub, was on the verge of closing due to lack of funding. Despite the hardships, the townspeople held on to hope, helping each other through tough times and finding joy in the little things. One morning, as the sun rose over the hills, the postmaster arrived at the tiny post office to find a stack of letters addressed to various people in town. The envelopes were plain, with no return address, but they all bore the same elegant handwriting. Curious, he began sorting them into the mailboxes, wondering who could have sent them. By mid-morning, the letters had been delivered, and soon, whispers began to spread. The first to open her letter was the owner of the local diner. She had been struggling to keep her business afloat, and her hands trembled as she unfolded the paper inside. The letter was short but life-changing. It read, "This town has given so much to so many. It's time for someone to give back. Enclosed is a check to help you keep your doors open. Use it wisely, and know that this gift comes with no strings attached." Stunned, she looked at the check and gasped. It was for $100,000. Similar scenes played out across town. The school principal received a letter with a check for $500,000 to fund repairs and new supplies. The librarian found $250,000 in her envelope, enough to save the library and even expand its collection. A single mother who had been working 3 jobs to support her children was handed $50,000 to ease her burden. Each letter contained the same heartfelt message, signed only with the words, "A friend." By noon, the entire town was buzzing with excitement and disbelief. Who could have done this? Why would someone give so much without wanting recognition? The postmaster, who had delivered the letters, was just as puzzled as everyone else. He had no idea where they had come from, only that they had arrived in the morning mail. As the day went on, more letters were discovered. A struggling farmer received enough money to pay off his debts and buy new equipment. A retired teacher, who had dedicated her life to educating the town's children, was given a generous sum to enjoy her golden years. Even the local church, which had been trying to raise funds for a new roof, found an envelope with enough money to complete the project. The townspeople gathered at the diner that evening, their faces filled with wonder and gratitude. They shared their stories, each one more incredible than the last. Some cried tears of joy, while others sat in stunned silence, trying to process what had happened. The diner owner, still holding her check, stood up and addressed the crowd. "Whoever did this," she said, her voice shaking, "they've changed our lives. They've given us hope when we needed it most. We may never know who they are, but we'll never forget what they've done." As the night wore on, the town began to speculate about the mysterious benefactor. Some thought it might be a former resident who had made it big in the city. Others wondered if it was a wealthy philanthropist who had heard about their struggles. But no one could say for sure. The only clue was the elegant handwriting on the envelopes, and even that didn't lead anywhere. The next morning, the story hit the local news. Reporters from nearby towns arrived, eager to learn more about the anonymous gifts. They interviewed the recipients, who shared their heartfelt gratitude, but no one could provide any answers. The mystery only deepened, and the postmaster revealed that the letters had been sent from a post office in a city hundreds of miles away. As the days turned into weeks, the town began to heal. The diner stayed open, the school got its repairs, and the library became a bustling hub of activity once again. The single mother quit 2 of her jobs and spent more time with her children. The farmers' fields flourished, and the church's new roof gleamed in the sunlight. Life in the town was still simple, but it was brighter, filled with a renewed sense of hope and possibility. And yet, the question remained, who was the friend who had given so generously without seeking recognition? The townspeople would never know for sure, but they vowed to pay the kindness forward. They started a fund to help others in need, determined to keep the spirit of the anonymous gift alive. Little did they know, this was only the beginning. The billionaire behind the letters had more surprises in store, and the town's journey was far from over. But for now, they were content to bask in the warmth of a gift that had come when they needed it most, a gift that had left them in tears, not of sorrow, but of gratitude and joy. The days following the mysterious letters were unlike anything the town had ever experienced. The air was filled with a mix of gratitude, curiosity, and a renewed sense of community. People who had once felt invisible or forgotten now walked with their heads held high, their hearts lighter. The diner became a gathering place not just for meals, but for stories of hope and dreams for the future. The schoolchildren, who had been using outdated textbooks, now eagerly awaited the arrival of new supplies. The library, once on the brink of closure, was bustling with activity as people of all ages came to explore its expanded collection. But as the initial shock began to settle, the question on everyone's mind grew louder: who was behind this incredible act of kindness? The postmaster, who had become something of a local celebrity, was bombarded with questions every time he stepped out of his office. Did you see who dropped off the letters? Was there anything unusual about the envelopes? Do you think they'll send more? He could only shrug and shake his head. He knew as much as everyone else, which was nothing at all. The local newspaper ran a front-page story titled, "A Miracle in Our Midst," detailing the impact of the anonymous gifts. The article included interviews with the recipients, each of whom shared how the money had changed their lives. The single mother, now able to spend more time with her children, spoke of the relief she felt. The farmer, whose fields were thriving, talked about the future he could now envision for his family. The retired teacher, with tears in her eyes, expressed her gratitude for the chance to live out her days in comfort. The story didn't stop at the town's borders. News outlets from nearby cities picked it up, and soon, the tale of the anonymous billionaire spread like wildfire. Reporters and camera crews descended on the town, hoping to uncover the identity of the mysterious benefactor. But despite their efforts, no one could find a single clue. The letters had been sent from a post office in a distant city, and the checks had been drawn from an account that couldn't be traced. It was as if the billionaire had vanished into thin air. Amid the media frenzy, the townspeople began to notice something strange. Small, unexpected acts of kindness started popping up everywhere. A local handyman fixed a widow's leaky roof for free, saying he wanted to pay it forward. A group of teenagers organized a cleanup day at the park, planting flowers and painting benches. The diner owner started offering free meals to anyone who couldn't afford to pay, inspired by the generosity she had received. It was as if the billionaire's gift had sparked a chain reaction, reminding everyone of the power of kindness. One evening, as the sun dipped below the hills, the townspeople gathered in the square for an impromptu celebration. They brought food, music, and laughter, turning the space into a vibrant festival of gratitude. The diner owner stood on a makeshift stage and addressed the crowd. "We may never know who our friend is," she said, her voice steady but filled with emotion, "but we can honor their gift by being kind to one another. Let's make this town a place where no one feels alone, where everyone has a chance to thrive." Her words were met with cheers and applause, and as the night went on, the sense of unity grew stronger. Strangers became friends, and friends became family. The town, once struggling and divided, was now a shining example of what could happen when people came together. But just as the celebration reached its peak, something unexpected happened. A young boy, no older than 10, approached the stage with a letter in his hand. "I found this in my mailbox today," he said, holding it up for everyone to see. The crowd fell silent as the diner owner took the letter and opened it. Inside was another check, this time for $1 million, along with a note that read, "Your kindness has not gone unnoticed. Use this to build a brighter future for your town. A friend." The crowd erupted in gasps and applause, but the diner owner held up her hand for silence. "This isn't just about the money," she said, her voice trembling. "It's about what we've become as a community. Let's use this gift to create something that will last for generations." The next morning, the town held a meeting to decide how to use the new funds. Ideas poured in from every corner of the community. Some suggested building a community center where people could gather for events and classes. Others proposed creating a scholarship fund for local students. A group of farmers recommended starting a co-op to support local agriculture. The discussions were lively and passionate, but one thing was clear: everyone wanted to honor the spirit of the anonymous gift. As the days turned into weeks, the town began to transform. Construction crews broke ground on the new community center, and volunteers worked tirelessly to bring the project to life. The scholarship fund was established, and applications poured in from students eager to pursue their dreams. The farmers' co-op flourished, providing fresh, locally grown produce to the town and beyond. But even as the town moved forward, the mystery of the billionaire remained unsolved. Some believed it was a test, a way to see how the town would respond to such a gift. Others thought it might be someone who had once lived in the town and wanted to give back. Whatever the truth, the townspeople were determined to make the most of the opportunity they had been given. And then, one quiet afternoon, a letter arrived at the post office. It was addressed to the entire town, and the postmaster, his hands shaking, delivered it to the diner owner. She gathered everyone together and read it aloud. "You have shown the world what it means to be a community. Your kindness, your unity, and your determination have inspired me beyond words. This is not the end of our journey together. More surprises await. A friend." The room fell silent as the words sank in. The billionaire wasn't done. The town's story was far from over, and as the sun set over the hills, the people of the town looked to the future with hope, knowing that whatever came next, they would face it together. The arrival of the second letter sent ripples of excitement and curiosity through the town. The words, "More surprises await," lingered in everyone's minds, sparking endless speculation. What could the billionaire have planned next? Would there be more money? Or perhaps something even more extraordinary? The townspeople couldn't help but wonder, but they also knew better than to sit around waiting. They had work to do. The $1 million gift had already begun to transform the town. The community center was taking shape, its foundation laid with care and hope. Local artists had volunteered to paint murals on its walls, while craftsmen donated their time to build furniture and fixtures. The scholarship fund had received dozens of applications, and a committee was formed to review them. The farmers' co-op was thriving, with plans to expand its reach to nearby towns. Everywhere you looked, there was a sense of purpose and progress. But the billionaire's promise of more surprises kept everyone on their toes. The postmaster, who had become the unofficial keeper of the mystery, checked his mail every morning with a mix of anticipation and anxiety. Would there be another letter? Another check? Or something entirely unexpected? The townspeople watched him closely, their curiosity growing with each passing day. One morning, as the postmaster sorted through the mail, he noticed a small, unmarked package. It was addressed to the town, with no return address. His heart raced as he carried it to the diner, where a small crowd had gathered, eager to see what it contained. The diner owner carefully opened the package, revealing a simple USB drive and a note that read, "Play this for the town. A friend." The crowd buzzed with excitement as the diner owner plugged the USB drive into her laptop and connected it to a projector. The screen lit up, and a video began to play. It opened with sweeping aerial shots of the town, the rolling hills, the winding river, the bustling streets. The footage was stunning, capturing the beauty and charm of the place they called home. Then, the screen faded to black, and a voice began to speak. It was a warm, gentle voice, neither male nor female, carefully modulated to avoid identification. To the people of this town, it began, you have shown the world what it means to come together, to lift each other up, and to create something beautiful out of hardship. Your kindness has inspired me, and I want to continue supporting your journey. But this time, the gift is not just for you, it's for the world. The screen lit up again, this time showing blueprints and designs for a state-of-the-art innovation hub. The voice explained that the hub would be a place for creativity, learning, and collaboration. It would house labs, classrooms, and workspaces, open to anyone with an idea and a dream. The billionaire had already purchased the land, a large, unused plot on the edge of town, and construction would begin immediately. The town would be responsible for running the hub, with the billionaire providing the funding and resources needed to make it a success. The video ended with a simple message: this is your chance to shine. Show the world what you're made of. A friend. The room erupted in applause and cheers. The idea of an innovation hub was beyond anything anyone had imagined. It was a chance to put the town on the map, to attract talent and investment, and to create opportunities for generations to come. But it was also a huge responsibility. Could they really pull it off? The town held a meeting that evening to discuss the next steps. Everyone was invited, and the turnout was overwhelming. People of all ages and backgrounds shared their ideas and concerns. Some were excited about the potential for new jobs and businesses. Others worried about the impact on the town's quiet way of life. But in the end, the consensus was clear: they had to try. A committee was formed to oversee the project, with representatives from every corner of the community. They reached out to architects, engineers, and educators for advice, determined to create something that would benefit not just the town, but the world. The billionaire's team, working behind the scenes, provided support and guidance, but the townspeople were in charge. It was their vision, their dream. As construction began, the town buzzed with activity. Trucks rolled in carrying materials, and workers from nearby cities joined the effort. The townspeople pitched in wherever they could, from serving meals to the construction crew to helping with landscaping. Even the children got involved, painting signs and planting flowers around the site. But the innovation hub wasn't the only surprise. A few weeks later, another package arrived at the post office. This one contained a set of keys and a note, for the children. A friend. The keys were to a brand new school bus, fully equipped with the latest technology. The old bus, which had been breaking down for years, was finally replaced. The children cheered as they climbed aboard for the first time, their faces lit up with excitement. The billionaire's gifts kept coming, each one more thoughtful than the last. A new playground was built in the park, complete with accessible equipment for children with disabilities. A fund was established to support local artists and musicians, giving them the resources to pursue their passions. Even the town's stray animals were taken care of, with a new shelter built and staffed by volunteers. But the most surprising gift of all came in the form of a letter addressed to the diner owner. Inside was a check for $5 million, along with a note that read, "Use this to create a legacy." A friend. The diner owner, overwhelmed by the trust placed in her, decided to use the money to start a foundation. Its mission would be to support small towns like theirs, helping them overcome challenges and build brighter futures. As the town continued to grow and thrive, the mystery of the billionaire remained. Who were they? Why had they chosen this town? And what would they do next? The townspeople didn't have the answers, but they didn't need them. What mattered was the impact of the gifts, the hope, the unity, and the sense of possibility they had brought to the town. And so, the story continued, each chapter more inspiring than the last. The town, once struggling and forgotten, had become a beacon of hope and resilience. And the billionaire, whoever they were, had given them the greatest gift of all, the belief that anything was possible. The town had become a hive of activity, its streets alive with the hum of progress and the buzz of possibility. The innovation hub was nearing completion, its sleek, modern design standing as a symbol of the town's transformation. The community center was already hosting events, from art classes to town meetings, and the scholarship fund had sent its first group of students off to college. The town was thriving, but the billionaire's gifts kept coming, each one more surprising than the last. One crisp autumn morning, the postmaster arrived at his office to find yet another package. This one was larger than the others, wrapped in plain brown paper with no return address. His hands trembled as he carried it to the diner, where a small crowd had gathered, eager to see what it contained. The diner owner carefully unwrapped the package, revealing a beautifully crafted wooden box. Inside was a letter and a set of blueprints. The letter read, "Your town has inspired me in ways I cannot express. You have shown the world what it means to come together, to dream big, and to work hard. But there is still more to be done. Enclosed are plans for a new project, one that will change lives far beyond your borders. A friend." The blueprints were for a state-of-the-art medical clinic, complete with a pharmacy, laboratory, and telemedicine facilities. The clinic would provide free or low-cost healthcare to anyone in need, regardless of their ability to pay. It would also serve as a training center for medical professionals, offering internships and residencies to students from nearby universities. The townspeople were stunned. A medical clinic? In their small town? It seemed too good to be true. But the billionaire's track record spoke for itself. If they said it would happen, it would happen. The town held a meeting that evening to discuss the project, and the response was overwhelmingly positive. Everyone agreed that the clinic was exactly what the town, and the surrounding area, needed. Construction began almost immediately, with the billionaire's team providing the funding and resources. The townspeople pitched in wherever they could, from clearing the land to painting the walls. Even the children got involved, making cards and drawings to decorate the clinic's waiting room. The sense of community was stronger than ever, and the town's spirit of generosity continued to inspire everyone who heard their story. But the billionaire's gifts didn't stop there. A few weeks later, another package arrived at the post office. This one contained a set of keys and a note, for the future. A friend. The keys were to a brand new electric bus, equipped with solar panels and charging stations. The bus would provide free transportation to and from the Innovation Hub, the medical clinic, and other key locations in town. It was a gift that would benefit everyone, from students to seniors, and reduce the town's carbon footprint at the same time. The townspeople were overjoyed. The bus was a tangible symbol of the billionaire's commitment to their future, and it quickly became a beloved part of daily life. The children loved riding it to school, and the seniors appreciated the convenience of getting to the clinic or community center without having to drive. Even the tourists who visited the town to see the Innovation Hub and medical clinic marveled at the bus, calling it a model for sustainable transportation. As the town continued to grow and evolve, the mystery of the billionaire deepened. Who were they? Why had they chosen this town? And what would they do next? The townspeople had no answers, but they didn't need them. What mattered was the impact of the gifts, the hope, the unity, and the sense of possibility they had brought to the town. And then, one quiet afternoon, a letter arrived at the post office. It was addressed to the entire town, and the postmaster, his hands shaking, delivered it to the diner owner. She gathered everyone together and read it aloud. "You have shown the world what it means to be a community. Your kindness, your unity, and your determination have inspired me beyond words. This is not the end of our journey together. More surprises await. A friend." The room fell silent as the words sank in. The billionaire wasn't done. The town's story was far from over. And as the sun set over the hills, the people of the town looked to the future with hope, knowing that whatever came next, they would face it together. The town had grown accustomed to surprises, but nothing could have prepared them for what came next. The letter promising more surprises had left everyone on edge, their imaginations running wild. Would it be another grand project? A personal gift to someone in need? Or something entirely unexpected? The townspeople didn't have to wait long to find out. One morning, as the sun rose over the hills, a convoy of trucks rolled into town. They were sleek and modern, emblazoned with the logo of a well-known renewable energy company. The trucks stopped in the center of town, and a team of engineers and technicians stepped out. They approached the diner, where a crowd had already gathered, and handed the diner owner a letter. The letter read, "Your town has shown the world what it means to dream big and work together. Now, it's time to take the next step. These trucks carry the equipment needed to transform your town into a model of sustainability. Solar panels, wind turbines, and energy storage systems will be installed throughout the community, providing clean, renewable energy for generations to come." A friend. The crowd erupted in cheers. Clean energy? For their town? It was a dream come true. The engineers explained that the project would not only reduce the town's carbon footprint but also lower energy costs for everyone. The townspeople were thrilled, and they eagerly volunteered to help with the installation. Over the next few weeks, the town was transformed. Solar panels appeared on rooftops, wind turbines sprouted on the hills, and energy storage systems were installed in key locations. The Innovation Hub, Medical Clinic, and Community Center were among the first buildings to be upgraded, but soon, every home and business in town was powered by clean, renewable energy. The impact was immediate. Energy bills dropped, and the town's air felt fresher, cleaner. The children, who had learned about renewable energy in school, were especially excited. They loved pointing out the solar panels and wind turbines, proud of their town's commitment to sustainability. Even the tourists who visited the town to see the Innovation Hub and Medical Clinic marveled at the clean energy project, calling it a model for communities everywhere. But the billionaire's gifts didn't stop there. A few weeks later, another package arrived at the post office. This one contained a set of keys and a note, for the future. A friend. The keys were to a brand new electric bus, equipped with solar panels and charging stations. The bus would provide free transportation to and from the Innovation Hub, the medical clinic, and other key locations in town. It was a gift that would benefit everyone, from students to seniors, and reduce the town's carbon footprint at the same time. The townspeople were overjoyed. The bus was a tangible symbol of the billionaire's commitment to their future, and it quickly became a beloved part of daily life. The children loved riding it to school, and the seniors appreciated the convenience of getting to the clinic or community center without having to drive. Even the tourists who visited the town to see the Innovation Hub and Medical Clinic marveled at the bus, calling it a model for sustainable transportation. As the town continued to grow and evolve, the mystery of the billionaire deepened. Who were they? Why had they chosen this town? And what would they do next? The townspeople had no answers, but they didn't need them. What mattered was the impact of the gifts, the hope, the unity, and the sense of possibility they had brought to the town. And then, one quiet afternoon, a letter arrived at the post office. It was addressed to the entire town, and the postmaster, his hands shaking, delivered it to the diner owner. She gathered everyone together and read it aloud. "You have shown the world what it means to be a community. Your kindness, your unity, and your determination have inspired me beyond words. This is not the end of our journey together. More surprises await." A friend. The room fell silent as the words sank in. The billionaire wasn't done. The town's story was far from over. And as the sun set over the hills, the people of the town looked to the future with hope, knowing that whatever came next, they would face it together. The town had become a symbol of hope and resilience, a shining example of what could happen when people came together. The innovation hub was thriving, the medical clinic was saving lives, and the clean energy project had transformed the town into a model of sustainability. But the billionaire's promise of more surprises kept everyone on their toes. What could possibly come next? One morning, as the town was waking up to another beautiful day, a sleek black car pulled up outside the diner. A well-dressed woman stepped out, carrying a briefcase and a warm smile. She introduced herself as a representative of the billionaire and asked to speak with the town's leaders. The diner owner, the school principal, and the head of the farmers' co-op gathered in the community center, their curiosity piqued. The woman opened her briefcase and handed each of them a folder. Inside were detailed plans for a new initiative, a global mentorship program that would connect the town's residents with experts from around the world. The program would cover a wide range of fields, from technology and medicine to agriculture and the arts. The goal was to empower the townspeople with knowledge and skills, helping them reach their full potential and share their talents with the world. The woman explained that the billionaire had been inspired by the town's spirit of collaboration and innovation. They wanted to take it a step further by creating opportunities for lifelong learning and growth. The program would include online courses, in-person workshops, and even international exchanges. The townspeople would have access to some of the brightest minds in the world, all thanks to the billionaire's generosity. The leaders were overwhelmed. This was more than just a gift, it was an investment in the town's future. They immediately began spreading the word, and the response was incredible. Farmers signed up to learn about sustainable agriculture, teachers enrolled in courses on innovative teaching methods, and artists applied for residencies in world-renowned studios. Even the children got involved, participating in coding camps and science fairs. The mentorship program quickly became a cornerstone of the town's identity. It attracted attention from far and wide, with people from other communities reaching out to learn from the town's success. The Innovation Hub hosted regular events, bringing together experts and learners in a vibrant exchange of ideas. The medical clinic became a training ground for aspiring doctors and nurses, while the farmers' co-op shared its knowledge with other agricultural communities. But the billionaire's gifts didn't stop there. A few weeks later, another package arrived at the post office. This one contained a set of keys and a note, for the future. A friend. The keys were to a brand new electric bus, equipped with solar panels and charging stations. The bus would provide free transportation to and from the Innovation Hub, the medical clinic, and other key locations in town. It was a gift that would benefit everyone, from students to seniors, and reduce the town's carbon footprint at the same time. The townspeople were overjoyed. The bus was a tangible symbol of the billionaire's commitment to their future, and it quickly became a beloved part of daily life. The children loved riding it to school, and the seniors appreciated the convenience of getting to the clinic or community center without having to drive. Even the tourists who visited the town to see the Innovation Hub and medical clinic marveled at the bus, calling it a model for sustainable transportation. As the town continued to grow and evolve, the mystery of the billionaire deepened. Who were they? Why had they chosen this town? And what would they do next? The townspeople had no answers, but they didn't need them. What mattered was the impact of the gifts, the hope, the unity, and the sense of possibility they had brought to the town. And then, one quiet afternoon, a letter arrived at the post office. It was addressed to the entire town, and the postmaster, his hands shaking, delivered it to the diner owner. She gathered everyone together and read it aloud. "You have shown the world what it means to be a community. Your kindness, your unity, and your determination have inspired me beyond words. This is not the end of our journey together. More surprises await. A friend." The room fell silent as the words sank in. The billionaire wasn't done. The town's story was far from over. And as the sun set over the hills, the people of the town looked to the future with hope, knowing that whatever came next, they would face it together. The town had come so far. From a struggling, forgotten place to a beacon of hope and innovation, its transformation was nothing short of miraculous. The Innovation Hub, the medical clinic, the Clean Energy Project, and the Global Mentorship Program had all changed lives in ways no one could have imagined. But the billionaire's final gift would be the most profound of all. One crisp winter morning, as the first snow dusted the hills, a letter arrived at the post office. It was addressed to the entire town, and the postmaster, his hands trembling with anticipation, delivered it to the diner owner. She gathered everyone in the community center, where the townspeople had celebrated so many milestones. The room was packed, the air thick with curiosity and excitement. The diner owner opened the letter and began to read aloud, "To the people of this town, you have shown me the true meaning of community, resilience, and kindness. Your journey has inspired me more than words can express. It is time for me to reveal myself, not for recognition, but to share the final chapter of our story. A friend." The room fell silent. The billionaire was finally revealing their identity? The diner owner continued reading, "I was once a part of this town, many years ago. I grew up here, played in these streets, and learned the values that have guided me throughout my life. But I left, chasing dreams of success and wealth. I found what I was looking for, but I also lost something along the way, the sense of belonging, the warmth of a community that cares for one another." The letter went on to explain how the billionaire had watched the town from afar, seeing it struggle after the factory closed. They had wanted to help but didn't know how. Then, one day, they read a news article about the town's resilience, how neighbors helped each other through hard times, how the children still smiled despite the challenges. That was the moment they decided to act. "I chose to remain anonymous," the letter continued, "because I wanted the focus to be on you, not me. This town's strength comes from its people, not from any one person. But now, as I prepare to step forward, I want to give you one final gift, a gift that will ensure your legacy lives on for generations." The diner owner paused, her voice breaking as she read the final lines, "I am establishing a permanent endowment for this town. It will fund education, healthcare, sustainability, and innovation in perpetuity. The endowment will be managed by a board of townspeople, ensuring that the decisions are made by those who know and love this place best. This is my way of saying thank you, for reminding me of what truly matters in life. A friend." The room erupted in applause, tears streaming down faces. The billionaire's identity remained a mystery, but their words had touched everyone deeply. It wasn't about the money or the grand projects, it was about the love and care they had shown for the town that had shaped them. In the days that followed, the town began to process the news. The endowment was a game-changer, providing a stable foundation for the future. The board was formed, with representatives from every corner of the community, and they worked tirelessly to ensure the funds were used wisely. Scholarships were expanded, the medical clinic added new services, and the Innovation Hub launched groundbreaking research projects. But the most profound impact was on the townspeople themselves. The billionaire's final gift had reminded them of their own strength and resilience. They realized that while the money had helped, it was their unity and determination that had truly transformed the town. The endowment was a tool, but the heart of the town was its people. As the years passed, the town became a model for communities around the world. Visitors came to learn from its success, and the townspeople shared their story with pride. The Innovation Hub became a hub of global collaboration, the medical clinic saved lives far beyond the town's borders, and the Clean Energy Project inspired other communities to embrace sustainability. And through it all, the spirit of the billionaire's generosity lived on. The townspeople paid it forward, helping other struggling communities and spreading the message of hope and unity. The Diner Owners Foundation grew, supporting small towns across the country, and the mentorship program connected people from all walks of life. The billionaire's identity remained a mystery, but their legacy was clear. They had given the town more than money, they had given it a future. And as the sun set over the hills, the people of the town gathered in the square, just as they had so many times before. They laughed, they cried, and they celebrated the journey that had brought them here. The town's story was far from over. It was a story of resilience, of kindness, and of the power of community. And it was a story that would be told for generations to come, a story that began with an anonymous gift and ended with a town forever changed.